Genesis 1:2, "And the earth was without form, and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep." The sentence above seems to be the best summary of an ancient epoch of Earth that lasted thousands of years, during which people observed different planets, a sun, or even multiple suns in the sky. This is a vast topic, closely related to the theories of Velikovsky, Talbot, and other genius researchers. Velikovsky proposed that the ancient sky was different, dominated by Saturn as a visible, central celestial body. In this era, Saturn appeared stationary above Earth's north pole and was regarded as a golden sun, giving rise to myths of a lost golden age found across cultures. This age probably was at Antediluvian times. The beginning and ending of this era is a more complex topic. One of the surviving traces of the Antediluvian era exists in the calendar. Although we no longer remember when humanity had a 360-day year composed of 40-day cycles, echoes of it persist in our collective subconscious in many forms. There is a recurring theme of 40 as a unit of time, appearing in days, years, and symbolic periods. This raises an important question: which calendar used 40 days or 40-year units? Which system treated 40 as a fundamental measure of time? And when did humanity transition to the 30-day month? The story of Noah also seems to indicate that in those times each month had exactly 30 days, thus giving us 360 years in a biblical year. So it seems at least a 360-day year transition is documented. In Old Testament, Elohist parts used time references of year, month and day, while the Yahwist used durations of days, 7 days, 40 days, so the 150 days suggests a Yahwist reckoning, so 150 days seems to be the Elohist narrative. Many ancient cultures viewed the year as consisting of 360 days. It was not that they were unaware of the 365-day solar year, rather, the remaining 5 days were often regarded as ominous or ill-fated. These traditions claim that the world existed in abundance when the year was 360 days long. Then catastrophic events occurred, and the year became 365 days. This earlier period is identified with the Golden Age, which Saturnian cults seek to restore. Number of gods 6 or 7, Saturn or Sun. 6 as Yahwist number. 6 was the holy number of Saturnian times, where Saturn was the ruler, sitting in the North Pole. When Saturn was replaced by Jupiter Kronos to Zeus, 6 was cursed. 7 became the new holy number. Saturnian priests lost the exoteric war, but they are quite powerful in esoteric wars. Everywhere you see a black-wearing priest, with black cube symbolism, you can understand they keep their antediluvian fraternity and beliefs. Today still the holiness or unholiness of 666 and 777 is an esoteric fight. 7 as Elohim number. In the beginning of the book of Genesis, the 7 is associated mainly with Elohim, and the 7th day of the week is sanctified by Elohim as the Sabbath day. It is in Elohim sentences that Noah waits 7 days before setting foot in the ark, and it is in an Elohim section that the birds are sent in 7-day periods seeking land. Axis shift. After the let there be light moment, when Saturn began to go away from Earth, and before the flood, prior to the change in Earth's axis, the year seemed to consist of 360 days. People probably used different calendars and methods of calculation, with 40-day periods appearing to be among the most common. When the flood occurred and Earth's axis shifted, the 365-day year emerged as a new phenomenon. Because human oral tradition is enduring, the numbers 40 days and 40 weeks have persisted in proverbs, children's tales, and even in religious contexts where they no longer carry an obvious meaning. Oral tradition is ancient history not documented. 40 was a time unit, thousand years before. Even old religions, myths are full of 40. Moses was in the mount for 40 days and 40 nights, Jesus was in the wilderness for 40 days, 40 days were given to Nineveh before destruction. There are a lot of samples for duration with 40 in the Old and New Testament. After extensive research, I conclude that when the Saturnian era ended, theology across the globe underwent a reformation. New gods replaced older ones, as seen in myths such as the Olympians supplanting the Titans. Priesthoods and religious fraternities became highly organized over time, allowing them to preserve and transmit their law. In Judaic tradition, the Elohist and Yahwist priestly strands are sometimes traced back to antediluvian times. It appears that the god of the Saturnian age was associated with Elohim and remained dominant during the events proposed by Velikovsky. As Saturn moved farther and farther from Earth, Jupiter, identified with Yahweh, replaced him. This transition is said to have led to prolonged conflicts among priestly groups over religion, calendars, numbers, and even the interpretation of history itself.